Assalamu alaikum. This is Rokia Samia welcoming you to the English news from Btv Chattogram. Let's begin with the top stories. Prime Minister Tariq Rahman to join canal re-excavation, Nojrul birth anniversary celebrations and organizational meetings in Mymensingh tomorrow. Seven cabinet meetings held from February 17 to April 30 after government assumes office with more than 70% decision implementation rate. Prime Minister Tariq Rahman visits brutal murder victim Ramisa's house in the capital, expresses condolence assuring speedy trial. Homebound people leaving Dhaka early. Less crowd at bus terminals and railway station. US and Iran uncompromising on nuclear issue despite progress in peace talks. And Bangladesh Football Federation appoints Thomas Dooley as new head coach of national football team. Viewers, those were the top stories. Now moving on to the details. Prime Minister and BNP Chairman Tariq Rahman is scheduled to visit Mymensingh tomorrow to attend a series of official and political programs. During the visit, the Prime Minister will inaugurate a canal excavation project, formally open the national program, marking the birth anniversary of national poet Kazi Nazrul Islam, and attend an organizational meeting of the ruling BNP. Prime Minister Tariq Rahman is expected to leave Dhaka for Trishul in Mymensingh by road at 9 in the morning tomorrow. Around 12 noon, he will inaugurate the excavation work of the Dharar Canal at Boiler Union in Trishul. Later, after a short break at the Trishul Nojrul Dak Bungalow, the Prime Minister will join the national program celebrating the 127th birth anniversary of national poet Kazi Nazrul Islam at the Nojrul stage in Trishul at 3 p.m. He will also formally inaugurate the three-day Nojrul birth anniversary celebrations there. Later at 5 p.m., Tariq Rahman will participate in an organizational meeting of BNP's Mymensingh North, South and Metropolitan units at the Nojrul Auditorium in Trishul. The Prime Minister is expected to leave Mymensingh for Dhaka by road around 6:30 p.m. The Cabinet approved a proposal placed by the Ministry of Defence to ratify the agreement titled Transfer of Defence Equipment and Technology signed between Bangladesh and Japan. The Cabinet gave the approvals at its 8th meeting held at the Cabinet Division in the Bangladesh Secretariat yesterday, with Prime Minister Tariq Rahman in the chair. It also approved the framework agreement on the establishment of the International Big Cat Alliance (IBCA) and also approved the draft of the Global Compact for Safe, Orderly and Regular Migration National Action Plan (GCM-NAP) 2026 to 2030. In addition, a progress report on the implementation of the decisions taken in the Cabinet meeting was presented. The report says 7 cabinet meetings have been held by April 30 since the current government assumed office on February 17, 2026. The implementation rate of decisions adopted in those meetings reached 70.73%. Prime Minister Tariq Rahman has visited the family of slain child Ramisa at their residence in the city's Pollobi. The Prime Minister's motorcade arrived at the house at 9:52 p.m. last night. He entered the residence and spoke with Ramisa's parents, staying there for around 18 minutes. During the visit, The grief-stricken father of Ramisa, Abdul Hanan Mullah, broke down into tears while speaking with the Prime Minister. Ramisa's mother and sisters also became emotional, and the Prime Minister consoled them. The Prime Minister affectionately placed his hand on the head of Ramisa's elder sister, Raisa Akhtar, and comforted her. Ramisa's mother, who was sitting beside her daughter, also burst into tears. Police recovered the dismembered body of 8-year-old Ramisa from an apartment in Pollubi on Tuesday morning. Ramisa, a second-grade student of Mirpur Popular Model School, was brutally murdered, sparking protests among her classmates and local residents. Police arrested the main accused in the murder case, Tenant Sohail Rana, along with his wife. According to police statements, Sohail Rana confessed before the court under Section 164. The entire country has been shaken with grief and anger over the brutal death of innocent child Ramisa. No one is able to accept such a tragic death of the little girl. Yesterday evening, Prime Minister Tariq Rahman met with Ramisa's family and assured them of a speedy trial for the brutal murder. Ramisa's father expressed satisfaction with this assurance. Many present became emotional at his cries of grief. Family members said that the incident must be properly investigated and the perpetrators brought under the law quickly. They also demanded the swift arrest and strict punishment of those involved in the child's murder. In the morning, reserved seat MP Salima Rahman met with Ramisa's family and said that society is moving toward destruction due to lack of education, drug addiction, and moral degradation. She called for a social movement to prevent such crimes. Meanwhile, law enforcement agencies are investigating the incident. The 5-day Eid train journey carrying homebound people will begin tomorrow. The railway authorities have already completed all preparations to ensure that homebound passengers can reach their destinations safely and smoothly during Eid. However, crowds of homebound travelers were already seen today at Kamalapur railway station. Although the official Eid holidays have not yet begun, many people are leaving Dhaka a little earlier. Passengers said they are leaving the capital in advance to avoid sufferings and traffic congestion. This time, 66 pairs of trains, including 43 pairs of intercity trains, will operate in the railway's Eid fleet. The station manager said that 10 additional special trains will also operate for Eid. To manage passenger pressure, 25% standing tickets will be issued for each intercity train 2 hours before departure. To avoid schedule disruptions during Eid travel, extra engines and coaches will be kept in reserve in Kamalapur. This time there will be 3 layers of checkpoints at Kamalapur and airport railway stations during Eid travel. Barricades have already been installed at Kamalapur railway station to prevent ticketless travel. The station manager said that the railway's top priority is to ensure that all trains maintain their schedules and that homebound passengers reach their destinations with safe and sound. State Minister for Land and Chittagong Hill Tracts Affairs, Barrister Mir Mohammad Helaluddin said that Prime Minister Tariq Rahman is deeply dedicated to alleviating public sufferings and prioritizing the welfare of the people. He wants to improve the living standard of underprivileged people in the first row of the society. State Minister said this at a rice distribution program of the VGF program initiated by the Ministry of Disaster Management and Relief at the Chikondondi Union Parishad premises in Hathajari Upazila of Chattogram today. The State Minister said the government is working relentlessly to change the fate of the very poor people, provide economic freedom and build a developed and prosperous Bangladesh. Later, under the Social Service Provision and Self-Employment Program, State Minister Barrister Mir Mohammad Helaluddin distributed goats, sheds, feed and medicines to 40 registered fishermen families on the banks of the Halda River to create sustainable alternative employment. Then he inaugurated modern street lights at Banjoin Upazila College Road Bus Stand 11 Mile and Parvati Model Government High School, Kachari Road, Ramkoni Road under the Smart Street Lighting Development Project of LGC RRP World Bank project implemented by Hathazari Municipality. Later, the State Minister inaugurated the development project by carpeting at Kamalpara Ramkuni Road and Shahjalal Para Road of Hathazari Municipality. Senior officials of Hathazari Upazila and municipal administration, local dignitaries and political party leaders were present in these public welfare and development-oriented programs. Now, international news. Despite progress in talks regarding a potential peace treaty between Iran and the United States, Tehran has taken a firm stance on the nuclear issue. This position by Tehran could emerge as a major obstacle to the signing of the Iran-US agreement. Iran has explicitly stated that under no circumstances will its enriched uranium be allowed to leave the country. Although U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio noted that the prospects for reaching an agreement are bright, he emphasized that the situation over the next few days remains highly critical. Meanwhile, just a week after canceling a previous Pentagon decision, Donald Trump has announced the deployment of an additional 5,000 U.S. troops to Poland. Although the United States has responded to Iran's proposals aimed at achieving the treaty, Tehran has stated that the response is currently under review. President Trump made the new announcement exactly 1 week after the U.S. Department of Defense, the Pentagon, canceled a pre-planned decision to send 4,000 troops to the country. In a post on his social media platform, Truth Social, Trump wrote that the decision was made based on his excellent relations with Polish President Karol Nawrocki. However, refraining from expressing immediate optimism regarding a swift treaty signing, he said that many things could happen within the next few days. The U.S. Secretary of State added that the peace treaty negotiations are moving forward through mediators. The United Nations has delivered a stronger message to combat the growing risks of climate change. A major resolution has been adopted in support of the advisory opinion of the International Court of Justice (ICJ). The resolution states that taking effective measures to curb global warming and reducing the use of fossil fuels fall within the legal obligations of nations worldwide. Although a vast majority of countries voted in favor of the resolution, opposition from a few nations, including the United States, has once again exposed the deep divisions in global climate politics. The accountability of developed and high carbon emitting nations in addressing the impacts of climate change has long been a subject of international debate. Vulnerable nations suffering from crises like rising sea levels, droughts, floods, and crop failures have repeatedly demanded that the countries most responsible for climate change must take more effective actions. Against this backdrop, the UN General Assembly has taken a significant stance. Initiated by the Pacific island nation of Vanuatu, the resolution passed with 141 votes. The United States, Saudi Arabia, Russia, Israel, Iran, Yemen, Liberia, and Belarus voted against it. On the other hand, the majority of nations, including Germany, France, the United Kingdom, and Australia, voted in favor of the resolution. A few countries, including India, Qatar, Turkey, and Nigeria, abstained from voting. The resolution endorses the 2025 advisory opinion of the ICJ. This comes as many of the countries most severely affected by climate disasters contribute minimally to global carbon emissions. The long-term high carbon emissions of advanced industrialized nations are viewed as the primary driver of the current crisis. Now, sports news. Football. Bangladesh Football Federation appointed Thomas Dooley as the new head coach of the Bangladesh national football team. Coach Dooley is a specialist in building teams from the ground up and understands the unique challenges and incredible passion of Asian football. He guided the Philippines national football team to a historic unbeaten AFC Asian Cup qualification campaign and their highest ever FIFA ranking. He served as head coach of the Guyana national football team and won all 4 matches